Welcome back to another episode of KOG TV. Today, we're celebrating a franchise that defines real-time strategy gaming, Age of Empires. Now, if you're like a lot of people, you grew up spending hours building civilizations, managing resources, and engaging in epic battles. This game wasn't just about strategy, it was about the history, tactics, and mastering every little detail just to outplay your opponents. What made the series so iconic? Is it the deep historic roots, the strategy mechanics, or the thriving online competitive scene that continues today? We're exploring everything from the rich game history and the impact that it had on the gaming industry. So buckle up because it's a journey through war strategy that no Age of Empires fan will want to miss.
Speak, of course, of the legend of Age of Empires.
Now let's rewind to the late 90s when real-time strategy games were exploding with popularity. At the time, Warcraft and Command and Conquer were dominating the scenes with their fantasy sci-fi themes. But then Ensemble Studios came along and teamed up with Microsoft to do something a little bit different. Instead of orcs and lasers, they gave us history, empire building, and a fully realized tech progression system. The key was historical authenticity. Unlike fantasy-based strategy games, Age of Empires focused on real-world civilizations, technological advancements, and strategic resource management. This added a layer of realism that hooked players and encouraged them to think, adapt, and conquer with genuine historical tactics. And let's not forget the iconic narrator, setting the stage for every campaign mission with his legendary voiceover work. It's absolutely gold.
There are those among us who still believe in Rome.
Now, if the original game was a hit, then Age of Empires 2, The Age of Kings was a masterpiece. Released in 1999, this sequel redefined real-time strategy genre. Everything was bigger, better, and deeper. More civilizations, better AI, didn't know that was then, and smoother gameplay mechanics. Now, for a lot of people, Age of Empires 2 was their real addiction to video games starter. For me, it was Diablo 2. I can't even tell you the countless number of all-nighters I spent trying to get that perfect armor and get that extra gem or diamond to make everything shine like I was in some friggin' medieval Star Wars video game of some sort. It was epic for me. But 20 years later, people are still playing Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. It's one of the most played real-time strategy games in the world. Now, what truly made Age of Empires special was its ability to blend economic building, military strategy, and historical storytelling all in one seamless experience. Resource management. Players had to gather wood and mine for gold and farm for food, mirroring real-world evolution of civilization. So you had to get all of those things. Tech progression. And unlike most real-time strategy games, you couldn't just instantly upgrade to the most awesome thing. You had to play it through and have historical accuracy through the entire game. So you could only get the best sword at the time or the best gun at the time. And it becomes like more than that. Diverse civilizations added that touch to where every civilization had unique strengths and weaknesses to their units, to the technology, which really made every playthrough a fresh challenge. These elements combined created a game that wasn't just about war. It was also about progress, adaptation, and technological depth. Elements that kept fans coming back for more time and time again.
And heralded the rise of greatness. A sophisticated real-time strategy game set in authentic historical ages. Players chose a campaign and turned a handful of villagers into a thriving empire, progressing from primitive Stone Age.
All Alright, now so what happened next? After the major success of Age of Empires 2, the franchise continued to evolve. Age of Empires 3 took a bold step forward, introducing 3D graphics, adding home cities, and it focused more on the colonial era.
Age of Empires 3 picked up in the late 16th century, with players exploring North America.
Some fans loved it, others missed the classic medieval warfare from Age of Empires 2. Now, Age of Empires 4 brought the series back to its roots, with modern visuals, refined mechanics, and that return to the classic Age gameplay that everybody loved. It was a revival that the series so needed. Every installment has pushed the real-time strategy gaming genre forward. That's been keeping Age of Empires alive and thriving for over 2 decades.
World from the Mediterranean to Egypt. See the famous Hanging Gardens of Babylon and rule alongside Hammurabi, or dominate the islands of Japan under the light of the rising sun. Players weren't just choosing different scenery. Each civilization had distinct unit advantages.
Alright, now one of the biggest reasons Age of Empires has stayed relevant today, it is the community. The competitive scene has grown massively with major tournaments, pro players, and prize pools that rival other esports giants. Back in the day, everybody played AoE for fun, but now it's a serious competitive sport. Players spend hours studying strategies, optimizing build orders, and perfecting unit and micromanagement. Microsoft has fully embraced this esports, making sure the game stays fresh and exciting with constant balance patches and expansions.
Of course, of the legend of Age of Empires. This legend begins at the dawn of civilization, 1997. Even in the dreaded age of dial-up internet, a spark of creation grew in...
So why does Age of Empires belong in the Gaming Hall of Fame? That's simple. This gaming franchise has withstood the test of time. And while other real-time strategy games have faded, AoE has thrived, continuing to attract new players and veteran strategists alike. It's a game that's both casual-friendly and deeply competitive, offering rich historical storytelling and unparalleled strategy mechanics. Few games have claimed to lasted for over 25 years while still being a dominant force in gaming. Age of Empires community is strong. Tournaments with massive prize pools attracting top real-time strategy players worldwide. The modding community customizing maps, keeping gameplay fresh and exciting, and Microsoft obviously still supporting, providing that real-time strategy games are far from dead. The competitive scene continues to thrive, showcasing that Age of Empires is a game that will never stop evolving.
Age of Empires set their sights on new horizons. Now players could travel to mythological realms, interacting with creatures of lore as the Atlantean war hero Arkantos. They traveled across known and unknown worlds, from Atlantis to Egypt to the Norselands. Ever since its release, players...
So where does Age of Empire go from here? With Age of Empire 4 thriving and Microsoft heavily investing in the franchise, we're looking at an even brighter future. Could we see a return to Age of Mythology? Thinking about it, I might have just saw a game similar to that. It's for the PS5 that I just put on my wish list. Or would that be like a brand new spinoff? Or is that a brand new spinoff? Or maybe even Age of Empire 5. Only time will tell. One thing that I do know is that PlayStation 5 is going to be bringing out Age of Empire 2 Definitive Edition with cross-platform play. And I believe that's coming out later this spring. That should be pretty dope. But this franchise has definitely cemented its legacy. And I don't think it's going anywhere. So let me ask you, what's your favorite Age of Empire moments? Drop it in the comments below and let's celebrate the legendary franchise together. And I will be putting out art. If you are catching this within the first week of me dropping this, you can go to, there will be a link in the comment, or there will be a link in the description to a place where I do art. It's called URL Royal Designs, and I'll be putting out art on with Age of Mythology stuff. But I got other art, just my King of Games art that I have there, and I'll be doing some other stuff. And as I do stories, I'm gonna do my own little art as well, and I'll be dropping that on my Facebook page, on my YouTube page, and I'll just be kind of dropping that everywhere for people to pick up on. But I do know that the Euro World Designs is the one place you'll be able to go and find my merch, with all of the stuff on it that I do. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications to stay up to date with all of the stuff that I do here on King of Games TV. I do appreciate you guys joining me, and I'll see you next mission.
introduced another innovative function: multiplayer accounts. Players could face off with real enemies across the world or across the room.